Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. Happy St. Patty's Day, you guys. Hope everybody has a great time. Maybe cheersing. We're going to go through SPX. This is going to be short and sweet. SPX and the VIX on the daily and the 65. So not a whole lot has changed. We did get the move, the follow through that we're looking for. And so now I'm starting to turn that ship back around to the downside. Now, can we go higher? Absolutely. I'm still expecting a move to just below 6,800, or it could spike through this this whole zone here. One more move up there? Absolutely could. And I'll show you that on the lower time frame, what I'll be looking for. But so we have some calls in place, and now we're swinging short. So virtually those calls turn into hedges at this point if price goes a little bit higher. Okay, and we all know that this level down here is our target area, 65.50 on SPX. And let's see here. So if you're new, I have these two levels on here, and they're super important. Okay, your weekly 20 SMA, that's at 68.38. All right, that's where I think we'll eventually get to after another spike lower, and that will be called the kiss of death, and you'll start seeing that in the headlines and all that good stuff. The second one here is the monthly 8 EMA. That's our momentum indicator, and go back to the weekly video if you want to check that out. And that is where price held this time on the monthly. So we know that this is an important level here. And I doubt price will stay this low for long. As a matter of fact, I do expect it to regain that 8 EMA after a fall here. Okay, so we're doing this intraday about, it's 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube supporter. It's $3 a month. And it comes with the Discord, Cheddar data, those dark prints that gave us the bottom here. That was fantastic. And then one of our Cheddar flow, options flow, we took some calls off there. And yeah, so come join us. And then the upper level is $10 a month, where we make our individual ETF and stock analysis. Today we did TLT by request. Want to check that out, and a game plan for what I was talking about here about the price possibly going up here and down there, and how we're going to play it. So, okay. So let's check out some of these indicators. And by the way, this is the measured move from the consolidation area up here. I just took the width of the range and placed it at the, sorry about that, and then placed it at the measured move from the breakdown area. And we're not quite there yet. That should get us through the gap area and probably a little bit lower. So we have our trend. Trend is down. Simple as that. Our moving averages. Here's where we're pausing today. And the NDX is at the 20 simple moving average it rejected off of. And so we're going to keep an eye on this 20 simple moving average as well. All right. So if things get wonky on the FOMC, things can spike. And I think we'll get a reversal off the 20 if that happens. It doesn't have to. We could be done with this bounce here. I was suspecting that price would go higher into FOMC, and so that's why I thought that we might actually get this move right before FOMC, and then we can fall. But we'll see if price holds up here. And after 2 p.m. when the announcement happens in a 2:30 conference, then things love to give you that first move, and it could just look so bullish, and then you get a huge wick and a reversal. As a matter of fact, if we're higher into FOMC, I think that is much more bearish, and I think we have a fall that could happen the next day or two. That would be 200-300 points, depending on where it drops from. Okay. And if you're a member, you know where our window, our cycle low window ends. So that's how fast price could move. And here's our oscillator, a McClellan oscillator, coming back into this, and that's what we were talking about yesterday. As we were so extreme here on this bounce, we got back into this out of the extreme area, and this next move lower, I suspect that we'll get a higher low and mark a bottom temporarily for a rip your face off rally. DMARC. We have a 3 count, nothing, no setup yet. Here's your RSI, came out of that oversold territory, now bouncing. That gives us room to head back lower. Do we get a lower low or we get a higher low? Doesn't really matter. If we get that higher low with price falling, I would love to see that positive divergence. That would give us a nice little picture there. So here's our little downtrend. Here's the caveat. Did we actually make a low? Slow stochastic, it's starting to curl up. Now, what could happen? There's 2 things. Obviously, we can continue to cycle higher. If we have price action fall lower, you still could cycle higher and have a positive divergence, or you could actually get deeper into the boundary area. This is, it definitely just tapped on it, but it can go definitely deeper. We're still in a bearish posture. We have the no crossover here. Histograms are getting thinner just because we're getting the bounce of the market. Okay, so that nothing goes in a straight line. It's oscillating lower. I do believe, by the way, if we hit our targets and we start heading to the upside, we will get a bull cross, but we'll remain in bear territory underneath the 0 line. Just want to make that clear. Here's your Bollinger Band. You got that oversold situation. Pushing the Bollinger Band, you got the buy signal. Also, we had tons of dark pool prints under here. That was fantastic. And Elliott oscillator. All right, just heading lower. We kept this here just for, that's just a placeholder right now, because when we break down lower, we want to see if we can get a positive divergence there. Okay, let's go to the VIX. All right, so the VIX is falling. It's already hit the target that I was looking for. And so with that said, a couple things could happen. So we're at the point where we talked about yesterday. We had the breakout area. We're back testing that. We're at support right now. But I said we'll go a little bit lower, likely hit that 20 trend indicator. I don't think I'll go any lower at this point. All right, so the trend is up and it's holding it. Now, if price wants to go get that 6,800 area, then we're clearly rejecting and going in this channel here, rejecting off top of the channel, and we're going back to the bottom of the range. That would get us to that 6,800 area, which would be an objective short, and also the 20 simple moving average on SPX. And we have the 50 moving average at the channel bottom here. So that would not be a surprise if that were to happen tomorrow, going into FOMC, and you get this move lower. But also, we just have to know that we're just backtesting. We're holding on to this area, and that could be bearish in itself if we start to rise from this point. Okay, as for our cycles, we're going to look for a VIX cycle low coming up, a minor low on the 23rd. And so we'll pay attention to what the VIX and what price is doing after FOMC, and then we'll have more of a clear vision of how that low should look. Okay, so like I said, our window's getting closed here. We're running out of time for a low in the market. So if we do get this nice big VIX spike, I do believe that will fail back into here, and wherever that maybe back to the 50 all the way down during this next week. Actually, this is the 23rd. That would be Monday, but it's a window, so it could be all the way out to past there. As a matter of fact, we could look at it in a couple different ways. You could, if this window is, let's say 3 or 4 days wide, we could look at this week, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, as being a window for a low. That's just how it works. But on the same note, if we do get a spike, we could get a low going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for example, of next week. All right. So the window's wide. So we'll just have to really pay attention. Right now, we don't have a real clear path for this VIX yet until FOMC gives us more information. All right. But certainly a place to, if you're long here, it just makes sense to add put protection. Okay. And then look for a setup if you have a bunch of calls on, add some put protection. And if you're a bear, you know that FOMC could crush this lower, so have some call protection. It goes both ways. All right, we'll go to SPY this time on the 65. All right, we've left off here. So we had our retracement so far. We're not looking at this yet. Let's get this out of here. So right now we're just working on this last leg here. Now they're very corrective moves, but that's part of a leading diagonal. That's what I think it is. And we've retraced this portion of the move to the 50%. Didn't quite make it to the 60%. On NDX, we made it to the 60%. Okay. Can we break down directly from here with the 8 EMA and the daily and this 50%? Absolutely. That can be it. It can be done. And then we can change our projections here to actually not change, but add on our projections so I'm looking at this as being an ABC leg down. So if our A leg is this length, and then we do a point of where the top might be. If it goes higher, we'll adjust it. But here's your B or your C wave compared to your A wave. Okay, this is the A wave. This is where we made that back test and a new low. Now we're getting the B wave, and we're looking for a C wave. Now your 100% is right here at 652. Okay, and you can clean this up. We're looking for everything after 100% and on to our extensions. And very typical would be this 123.6. Okay, and it can go further than that, but it looks like it's a little stretch down there. All right, and then your 138, which starts to line. Then you have a confluence from this entire move here for the A equals C. There's something else going on here. I'm not going to get into it, but that's something. That's the third leg. No, we're not doing the ABC. Sorry about that. I'm trying to think of what I did with this one. This was the wave 3. Okay, and then your extensions off of the wave 3 from the wave 4. All right, hope that makes sense. Where the top of wave 4 is right there. So you don't know all the Elliott waves. You got to check that out in the membership. But here's our extensions, and you get a confluence down here of the 382 and the 23.6 down at 644. I don't know if price will make it down there. We'll be looking to surely exit out of our puts at the 650 area for sure if we make it down there, and then but probably scale out of it a little bit earlier than there and start looking for longs at that point. Okay, so let's move in to some of these trend indicator. Trend is starting to turn a little bit. Now this is, in my opinion, this is still such a consolidating type move. It hasn't stretched out yet, and the trend has been down, but you see how choppy it gets. So you have to stick to those daily time frames. So it was so difficult to see what the heck was going on. And while you're trying to figure it out, you just stick to that 8 EMA and that 20 simple moving average on the daily and call it a day at that point. But you see how choppy this move has been. Moving averages, we're fighting with the 50 right now. We're getting above on this bounce for the 8 EMA and the 20. So just really in a neutral stance here. pinching between moving averages. All right, and we already had that overbought condition on this bounce today, and that's why we're retreating off of it, at least consolidating for the next move, which could go to 675-ish. If it wants to, just a little bit higher. And then at that point, we'd look for negative divergence. Right, slow stochastic is a headwind on this bounce, so it's consolidating right now. We'll see if that curls back up to see if we can get just a little bit higher. Other than that, we'll look for the rollover in the MACD V, and you see they're going against each other. This one's heading down, this one's heading up, so that's why we're getting the chop. Hey, oops. Here's the DMARC. No setup here. We had that 9 count that gave us an exhaustion sell, just spiked a little bit lower, and that was a good buy signal. Money flow, money's flowing in. We had that positive divergence. Do we get to the top of the range? Doesn't have to. It hasn't been for a while, so we're just kind of no setup here. I'll just leave it at that. Bollinger Band, we tagged the top of the Bollinger Band with an overbought situation. That was a sell signal. Elliott Oscillator, back to the neutral spot. Do we get this little whipsaw here? Possibly just like this, or we just can continue to head lower. But that would be cool if we made these new lows, and either we have this big red spike or we get a higher low in the histogram here. That would mark a good bottom there. All right, and you could look at this as a bear type flag. So if price gets to that 6,500, maybe it looks something like that. I said 6,500. My gosh, the 675 right here, the golden pocket. If it does go a little bit higher, so you have a bear flag, you do that. Also, you can look at this on the very short term. Actually, let's go to the 15. Don't do this very often, but if this is our move here, you have an inverse head and shoulder. First of all, you have left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we're back testing. Okay, so we could go higher. We could go as high as the 678 area. And what would that be? You have your zigzag. Okay, you have a 5-3-5. This last wave here could extend. So is this actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's complete? That's one way. Or if all of this spike was a 1, 2, you had your third wave, fourth, in this expanding ending diagonal. All right, and then your fifth wave would be the extension, where it goes longer and it doesn't have to stop here. It could go the full length to the 786. All right, and that would give you something in the realm of these. If you take those 3 peaks here and you start this expanding move, okay, so you have this expansion. So if you do get up here, you're looking at maybe testing the downtrend. Okay, and there's other ways you can draw it too. On SPX, I have it drawn out like this, where you take the top and you start to get this peak here, that peak there, and that would just bring you to the 675. So that would be, that would be a hard place to get past, because if we do form negative divergence there and we get this spike, maybe with FOMC it loves to just wick through things, so maybe it goes all the way up here with a big wick and then fails. So we'll be looking out for that. All right, just protect your gains, protect your portfolio, and we'll go from there. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.